So, hello everybody. Welcome to Motivate Community Show, a place to meet thought leaders and spectacular speakers in your community. We are already on episode 19, and my name is Ivana. I will be your host today. And today we have a very special guest. He's from USA, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So he will, but he's currently in Shanghai also, just like me, moved here. And first, I would say a little bit about him.
Hold on a second, Ivana.
Okay.
Ivana, this is my family's here.
Ah, great. So
My son was playing, so my son is right here. Yeah.
let's see him.
Yeah, you want to see him? Yeah. Sorry, everybody. This is
Yes,
come here.
I like spontaneous.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Wow.
Hi. Say hi, everybody. Oh, he wants to touch everything. Hi.
Cute.
Hi. This is Q. It's good to see you. Okay. Daddy's got to talk to somebody. Okay. Okay. Daddy's got to
Going
talk
to
to you,
be
Ivana.
holding the interview.
Thanks for helping Daddy out. Okay. Bye-bye.
Wow. So, such a nice introduction, I guess, to you. So, I will just briefly go
That was awesome. Yeah.
through your bio.
Sure.
Pete Rogers, he has been working for 15 years as an award-winning university administrator and psychology professor before seizing the incredible opportunity to move abroad. So now he's here in Shanghai with his wife, and we just met his son. So he has traveled abroad, presenting, engaging people through his workshops. So what I noticed is his workshops are about conflict resolution, about emotional intelligence, EQ, about communication, power presentations, and he will be holding a workshop named Listening Under Words. So please, Pete, tell us a little bit more about yourself. And it was so nice to spontaneously meet your son and family also.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, my wife isn't here, but that was my son, my mother-in-law. So thanks, everybody. Ivana, thank you so much for interviewing me. I deeply appreciate it. Yeah, my name is Pete Rogers. I'm originally from the United States, and I live in Shanghai. And as you said, I spent 15 years in higher education in the United States, where I was a psychology professor and also worked as an administrator. And got a dream opportunity to come to Shanghai, and so I took it. And now I travel the world, mostly through China, but I travel all over the Asia Pacific region. I'm going to Europe in June to do workshops and in Paris, and hopefully we'll be going to the United States to do some workshops as well this summer. So I travel quite a bit, but I love my life. It's amazing.
Great. So can you let us know what it means listening under words? So this is the name of your workshop. So I was just wondering, like, I guess it has to do with listening, right? So this is the skill, but it's interesting title.
Well, the research is clear. I mean, it's kind of weird to lead off with research, but research is really the foundation of all the work that I do, because you have to solve real problems. Most people only listen at about a 25% efficiency rate. But that's not the problem. That is a problem. 25% is not very good. But most people think they're much better than 25% efficiency, and that's
Right.
the bigger problem. So if you said to someone, how good a listener are you? Most people would say that they're a good listener. And for anybody watching this interview right now, ask yourself the question. On a scale of 0 to 100, as far as percentage points go, how efficient a listener do you think you are?
I think that most people would say, like, I don't have problem with this, I have problems
85%,
with people not listening to
85%,
me.
90%. Yeah, it's the other person's problem. I'm a great listener. Other people are the ones with the problem. But that's actually not true. We can talk about interactive effects for sure, but most people listen at about a 25% efficiency rate. But again, that's not the problem. The problem is most people think they're quite good. So because communication is absolutely essential to everything that we do, at home, at work, in any kind of interpersonal relationship, if you're a human being a better communicator is worth the time and effort. And that's why I call it listening under words, because I think the biggest issue that, yeah, I would say the biggest issue, there's a couple competing issues, but I would say the biggest issue is that most people think they understand what's being said because they're paying attention to what we call in psychology the presenting problem. So I say words and I'm speaking something, but that's not the real issue. And I'll give you an example from my life. When I was teaching psychology, or even when I was doing administrative work at university, I would often have a student come to my office for office hours, and they'd want to talk about their exam or about their paper. And 5 minutes into the conversation, once we've finished talking about the exam or the paper, they start to break down, maybe get deeply emotional, speaking about a grandparent who passed away, or the fact that their student loans are evaporating and they might have to leave school. So if I just treated the student like the presenting part, well, we talked about your exam, bye, I'd be missing a deep opportunity to connect with someone. And I think that that's what a lot of people, when the research is unveiled, do. They pay more attention to the presenting problem than to the underlying issues. And that's why I call it listening under words. Do we really truly understand and value and know how to listen for the things that are really going on, or the things that are really making the meaning happen, as opposed to just paying attention to the surface?
No,
And I think
really
that
like
makes a
this.
huge difference.
I really like what you're saying, because in the end, people think just by listening on the surface that we are resolving the problem. But as you mentioned, like this student maybe has some other problems that are having great impact on his performance in school. If he's really having some family issue, if he doesn't talk about this, right, and just focuses, oh, I just want to be better at school, in this subject, he may not resolve this. But by going deeper and really listening, what is the root cause? What is the real problem here?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he's obviously smart.
What's actually
He made
happening?
it to that school.
Yeah. And again, this is the reality that we want to be in. We want to be as steeped in reality as we can be. To the degree that we're chasing after kites or chasing after red herrings, we might think, yeah, I did a great job of listening there. But did I really understand what was going on? Did I really understand the issue or the problem that the person was bringing to the table? If you're a human being and interacting with another human being, enhancing your ability to really understand what's going on and grow that capacity will increase your life satisfaction exponentially. Exponentially.
Right. I feel like when you are you on your page, I noticed some keywords there like emotional intelligence, and I feel like this is connected with this listening part. And we all know that that today many statistics show that successful people are those without doubt that have high emotional intelligence. So
without question,
this is like part of this listening, right? Is what I'm hearing you say. So I feel like this is
well, I mean,
very
I'll take it one step further. It's not part of the listening, it's the heart of the listening. Leadership is about listening. You can't lead. You cannot lead if you can't listen. You cannot lead if you can't listen. Because you're going to be going off into a direction that people don't want to go. Yeah. So yeah, you're going to be going, yeah, let's lead and charge into the future that you think you understand. And you've got 25 people behind you going, oh, that's not where we want to go. That's not what we said. You didn't understand me correctly. or we don't have the capacity, the resources to do that. It's essential to learn how to listen. It's essential to grow that capacity if you want to grow your leadership.
Yeah, I feel like that many people still have this belief that I should just, doesn't matter if people agree or not, I will just make decisions and this is how it is, this is the right way to lead people. They don't know. I will make for them decisions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what would you say to these kind of people that have this kind of belief, that, if we would listen to everybody, then it will be chaotic and,
Well, the way that I try to describe it is this way. If I have a team of people, you're going to have differences of opinion without question. If I'm leading this diverse team of very talented people, which I'm sure is your target audience, you have people who are very talented, who are part of the Motivate Shanghai community, and they're leaders in their community. You can listen to people very genuinely, very authentically, very deeply, and understand where they're coming from. And I think that once people really truly feel like they've been heard, if, as a leader, I choose to go in a different direction, I think people are much more willing to buy in because they've been heard, because they've truly been understood. I think the issues that you're citing come about when people don't really listen. They don't really understand it. And they just go, well, I'm just going to do my thing because I know best. You're not going to get much buy-in
right.
if you're acting in that way. Does that
Yeah,
make
I
sense?
feel like in the long run, right, you can, to some point, make people do things, just by saying,
Yeah.
okay, do
Through
this. But even
fear
then, they will not be
or
happy.
authority. Yeah, without question. And just in my own life, I mean, I certainly, when I was at a director's level at university, I was reporting to the vice president and the president of the university. So I had a fair amount of authority. There were times when I went to both of them and said, I think this is a great idea, and this is a reasoned, thoughtful thing to do for the university. And they would think about it. And the reason why I admire both these men so deeply and why they were such great mentors, they listened to me. They heard me. And there were times when they said, no, either we disagree or we don't have the resources. Sometimes they just said, no, we just don't think this is a good idea. I was able to walk out of those meetings and feel okay about it because I felt heard and understood. They definitely understood where I was going. They didn't agree. I could live with that. What I couldn't live with was people shutting me off, cutting me off, going their own way without taking considerate and knowledgeable input from me or my talented team.
I think that definitely, if you make that environment safe for people to express themselves, that you feel like, they know that you're listening, that you care, then it's much easier and happier,
Yes.
going to the target and what you want to accomplish,
Yeah.
right? And you gain their trust. They know that, if they express their opinion, they are being heard. You respect their opinion, right? Compared to maybe others who, just push, but then these great talented people leave and they are wondering why, is this happening, right?
Yes.
Just because you do not really pay attention, right? This is about also paying attention when you are listening, right? And being conscious what
Listening
is going on.
is, yeah. And it's hard. Let's be clear. Paying attention to anything for more than, whatever, 5 minutes, truly and deeply paying attention to something for that long is difficult. It's difficult. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
this
what
isn't
would
easy.
your,
No one said it was easy.
yeah, this is why we have these
But you
workshops,
can learn.
right?
Exactly. But there are ways to move forward where you can grow your capacity, and it becomes easier because not only do you start to understand more, so it becomes easier, but it becomes more fulfilling, and your life becomes exponentially improved. Why? You're listening better, so you have decreased conflict. Are you a human being who has conflict with anybody in your world? Do you want to decrease that? Be a better listener. Be a more effective listener. Listen under words. Do you want to have more effective teams? that collaborate really well, if you're that person, then you need to listen to words as well and get your teams to listen to words. When those kind of things happen, do you have a spouse or a partner? Do you have children? Don't, this is not about just being better at work. It's about being better at life. And I like to think when I communicate better, I have more fun.
Right.
I don't like conflict. Who likes conflict? I want to laugh. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that's what I want.
I resonate completely with what you are saying, and I feel like you have better relationship not just with other people, but with yourself, right? You're better listening. What are my needs? When do I need to leave this job, move somewhere else? When should I
That's an
say
excellent
something?
point.
Listening to my own feelings and intuition, right?
That
So
is
I feel like
absolutely true. Well said. That's an excellent contribution to this conversation. Thank you.
so. If
That was
someone
really.
So let's say that we convinced people that you should pay attention better and listen at this point. So what would be your suggestion where to start to gain better listening skills?
Okay. This is going to sound negative, but I hope that people laugh at themselves and are able to do that, because this is where you have to start. Let's be clear. Most of the people watching this video, and by most I mean all, including myself, we need to improve. If you're listening to this video, you need to improve. So where do you begin? You have to start someplace. Come to this workshop. And not only will you have fun, but the thing about this workshop that will be illuminating for you is that you'll see with just a few different ways to listen, a few of the techniques that I'll be teaching you, or a few of the exercises we'll do, you'll see and understand just how much you're leaving on the table. Does that make sense? How much you're not hearing. And your own mind will be opened. So I don't have to convince you of everything. Just like Motivate Shanghai likes to do. It's interactive, it's experiential. You'll walk away and you'll have some jaw-dropping moments of clarity and go, wow, with just a few powerful things, I understand how deeply and powerfully I can understand another human being. And that might be an experience you haven't had in a long time, or maybe ever. So yeah, why wouldn't you want to come and experience that?
Right. So I feel like that as we are now speaking, this is a great beginning, to understand that maybe I'm not that good at this kind of listening skills, communication skills, right? That I thought that I am, and there is space to improve, right? And just by being aware of that is already beginning, our change, something that many people are not even aware, right?
Yes.
That I need
And
to work.
again, it sounds embarrassing to say that, but yeah, it's, you can even see my body language is a little bit a little cringy, but it's like, yeah, there are a lot of people out there who are really not good at this. And if you want to be good at it, you need to work at it like you do anything else. But you can improve. And again, if you attend this workshop, this isn't going to be magic. I'm not going to sprinkle fairy dust or tap you with a magic wand and make you the best listener in the history of humankind. But what I hope to do is through these interactive experiences, give you the motivation and like Motivate Shanghai to give you the motivation to want to learn more and to really start to grow your capacity. And that's all I can ask for.
Yes, so I'm happy for you to holding this workshop because I feel like this is much needed today. And is there something like a closing thought, something you would like for people to understand, to know at the end of this interview, like something you think is important for people to maybe they're thinking, should I go, to this workshop or not? Or maybe you want to share something general for those who know that I'm not in Shanghai, so I cannot attend. Is there something you would like to say?
Yeah, I think the phrase that I like to try to use is confusion is not your helper. Confusion is not your friend. If you have consistently confusing conversations, or you're speaking with colleagues or with your spouse or your children, and people aren't understanding you, or you feel like you're not being heard, and that's most of the people that I talk to, then this workshop's for you. And again, this is a gentle dive. This isn't going to be a hard dive. It's going to be, we're going to laugh. We're going to experience it as a group. And that's always more gentle because we're all in this together. And all I can say is, again, from my experience of life, when you start to really improve and listen to the words, your whole life is going to get better. Every piece of it. Who doesn't want that? So
Yes.
that's if that doesn't get you in the seats, I don't know what else.
Yes, and for those who will not attend, they already know, maybe unfortunately they're not in Shanghai, or just cannot attend at that time. I know that you're a reoccurring guest in our workshops, so you will be holding, I hope, more of workshops. But I would just say that just by being aware, I need to improve on this, because this is a skill. This is not something that happens overnight, right? So probably we will, on this
thousands of hours of training. Thousands of hours of training.
Right.
For clinical psychologists and psychiatrists, years of master's work and doctoral work to get good at this stuff. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to do all that. That's why I'm here. I'm here to give you some shortcuts and some tips to make it better immediately.
So what I'm saying is, like, is there maybe one tip you would now share with people who cannot attend, or say something to them to encourage them, because maybe they feel like, when will I learn all this, right? I have been doing this wrong my whole life,
Yeah. I would say this. Start trying to pay attention to people for short periods of time at first. If you have to set a timer, set a timer. But if you're looking at a colleague, say to yourself, I'm going to really pay attention to what my colleague is saying for 2 minutes. And just see how that is. And then another colleague for just 2 minutes. Another colleague, 2 minutes. What is that like for you? What are you experiencing? And again, to your point, what are you experiencing as listening? Not just as, or the words you're hearing. What are you hearing under the words, and what are you experiencing yourself? Try that for 2 minutes. And once you start to do it for 2 minutes, and that becomes a little bit easier, try it for 2.5 or 3. I know it's a little bit formulaic, but you got to start someplace. And I'm telling you, it's like holding a plank position. When people do physical fitness work, you see a plank, you're like, oh, I can do that for a minute, until you do it. And then 30 seconds into it, your whole body is shaking because you've never done this before. So again, start slow, but start.
Great tip. I really like this, because many people, go on some meeting, they have a job, go some meeting, and then they already know for 1 hour I cannot pay attention, right? But maybe, as you said, just 2 minutes, right? I think I can do this. So great.
Yeah.
This is, I think, a great start for us to see where we are, because maybe we cannot even pay attention for even 2 minutes, right? But then you're not getting discouraged. Just realize where you are, right? And accepting, okay, so this is where I am, and it's not really, our fault, because everybody today, with this technology and everything, watching on your mobile, what is happening, is very, very short span of attention, right? So being aware of that. But again, having a will to improve and to do better is what will keep us forward, doing better in our life. Okay.
2 minutes.
Okay, so thank you for today's very inspiring. I feel like I learned a lot also, and realized, okay, so maybe I also need to pay attention to this part of communication. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome, Ivana. I deeply appreciate the work that you and Motivate Shanghai do. I'm really happy to be a part of your family.
Thank you again, and I hope to see you on workshop. And inviting everybody who is Shanghai to come. Of course, it will be fun.
Please do.
I was
Yes.
I'm really excited because this is one of those workshops that I heard, is related to something that is useful, very useful, but at the same time fun and inspiring, and really change your life for the better. So thanks again, and
Indeed.
hopefully see you there. If not, I hope this was useful. 2 minutes.
Hope everybody comes who can make it, and peace to you all. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.